Welcome to another game, and we are back on Arabia in the green, playing as the Huns. We have RVK Orcus, probably better known as Chris by now. And over in the blue, playing as the Huns also, we have DeathOnTwoLegs, who I haven't seen play before, interestingly enough. I've seen him about quite a bit, but never really seen much play. I think he's 1.8 at the moment. I think Chris is 1.9 since the reset, of course. But we should be in for an interesting game, especially with Chris. He generally does something interesting. It's either extremely well played or a really bizarre tactic. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from him. Let's check out the maps. Alright, Chris having berries in the back as well as a gold in the back as well, which can be walled off fairly easy if he really is in need of getting his gold protected. So that is an option of his, but saying that as well, archers probably going to have a bit of trouble getting into here actually. Sitting on this hill here though, probably could with some range upgrades, but the main gold is over here, and of course going to be the one that's taken first. Berries there, and lumber not in such a nice location over here on the top of a hill. Chris of course having that crater, which we all despise. Two stones together, which would be absolutely beautiful if he was a Mayan, but no. Playing as the Huns, going to be a little bit different. So apart from that, he could potentially split his lumber to the back here. Don't think he'll split to the front, because that's just generally a suicidal attempt. And his big hill on the front here can be really ridiculous for Chris if he can't hold it. If DeathOnTwoLegs does manage to get a castle up on it, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Jumping back to the other side of the map, let's have a look over here. Small hills around this side for Death. One over here as well, but pretty out of the way, so he's not in any ridiculous hill bonus troubles. Does have his main gold on the hill though. Again, if Chris does manage to push in through the hill here, going to be quite helpful for him. And were those sheep just stolen off Chris? I think they might have been. But saying that as well, two lumbers in the back, not quite so bad. This one, of course, having the hill there, making a good choice to go with this one. Could potentially split his lumber to here if he really wants to. Stone in the back as well, not having the best surface area on it, but of course not playing as mines, so it doesn't particularly matter too much. Gold in the back as well, +1 over here. So, pretty decent map. Wall off will take a bit, especially with this amount of openness on the front here. Chris potentially could wall himself in fairly easy. In saying that, it looks like Chris is going for a drush here. Only real problem is going to be this hill, and he could wall off potentially around here if he wants to. It'll be a big area, but it's definitely an easy wall off. Taking the extra gold there to get loomed, so of course he hasn't got it yet. And a bit of a wall off going down for Chris right now. Interesting strategy. He might drush and try and fast castle off the back of this by the looks of things, and I think it was just spotted. So is Death ready for this? He's walled in his lumber already. Alright, he's good. He knows what's going on here. And really the only villagers in trouble are going to be these ones here. And of course pushing them back quite quickly. But not going to run into any kind of real harass here. Of course there will be a little bit, but there's not going to be too much going on. There's actually a villager in there that he could go for. Potentially there's actually two there. Anyway, we do have DeathOnTwoLegs up into feudal. Scouts, of course, still quite strong at this age. Definitely 5 HP up on a militia and 1 attack, so they're definitely in a good position there. And, ooh, Chris going for the double palisade here, and that spear looks like it's in trouble. And that wolf's going to get the hill bonus and kill the spear. Anyway, over here, slowly getting farms up, so it looks like we'll definitely be seeing some kind of fast castle attempt from Chris right now. How much food does he have? He's got a decent amount there. He's up to 33 population. He's double palisading. He does have 1 scout inside the base here. Potentially going to lose a villager here. And yes, Death will grab at least 1 villager on this one. Whereas Chris, not so lucky, but he is keeping his opponent off berries right now. But farms have gone up, so it's not quite so important now. Chris only just decided to go up to feudal age at 12 minutes. Which is a fairly interesting strategy. Death at the moment, not really doing too much down here. Will fight with the militia. No, the scouts are just going to get away, so it's not going to be fighting with the militia at all. Is going to move back to the berries though, and in come the militia again for another pass, but is getting some harass here actually, which is pretty decent. Don't think he's going to be able to kill off a villager, but he's got an idol over there, and he stops some of these working for a good amount of time, so he's in a good position actually. A few scouts out, and I would say, and the score's frozen. Anyway, I would say Chris is probably going up to feudal. He should just be about there, and going to be able to hit castle in a second as soon as he gets market blacksmith. Ooh, archery blacksmith. Interesting. Well, I guess already has the barracks from the drush, so it makes complete sense to go for that. And it looks like by the time that's done, he's going to be up into the castle age. Whereas DeathOnTwoLegs will have a little bit of a better economy because he has had double bit axe and of course horse collar a bit longer. But he hasn't taken gold yet, so he's not going to be able to transition to archers, nor is he going to be able to go up into the castle age. Wheelbarrow only just finishing up for him now, and I'm going to imagine Chris isn't going to get wheelbarrow. No, because he's already on his way up into castle. Going straight up onto 3 range for Chris. Interesting, but Chris knows his build orders. He knows exactly what's going on. I have no idea what that's about. 1 beat. Anyway, keeping the game going. Scout's not being able to accomplish much, and it looks like Chris is going to be going for mass cavalry archers here. Pretty hard to not see that with 3 rangers already up and the smith as well. But the full wall off for DeathOnTwoLegs looks like it's going down right now. Stone wall as well, so Chris is going to have a lot of trouble breaking this unless he decides to drop a forward castle or some kind of forward siege workshop. However, looking at the stone total for Chris right now, he doesn't have the option for that, so he can drop a siege workshop if he wants to. Does have the +2 range on these guys. Town center going up here on the goal around the wall. Smart play from Chris as always. Haven't seen an extra town center yet, and that village is going to be careful it doesn't chop through. And it looks like Chris is on his way out now. Might be able to kill some of these scouts. He's going to get 1 and damage a 2nd and nearly pick off the 3rd. He's going to get them both here. There we go. But Chris, of course, not going to be able to get any harass because this wall is too strong. Might actually be able to grab some if he sits right there and kills some villagers. Yeah, there we go. He can get some. Ooh, nearly killing that villager off. 8 HP there. That one running into trouble as well, but means there's going to be trouble to fully saturate this gold, but apart from that, not really going to be able to do too much harass at all. Unless, of course, the forward siege workshop is dropped, but I don't think that's going to happen at this stage. Chris has got his, third town center up. Well, on its way up, so he will be able to boom off this, and Death, what are you going for? No more town centers from you. He's going up to a 4th range. Have you got bloodlines yet? No bloodlines for either player right now. No armor upgrades either. So it's going to be interesting right now to see how Chris decides to break this or Death decides to push into Chris. Because of course Chris right now can be attacked relatively easy. Palisade and Castle Age isn't hard to get through at all, especially with cavalry archers. If you have enough of them, you can bust it down pretty quickly. Stonewall, completely opposite. It just takes forever to get killed off by cavalry archers, as everyone knows, or any kind of unit that's not a battering ram or mangonel. So over here, still pushing out with cavalry archers. He's taking complete map control, which is nice, but he's not really able to use it at the moment because he doesn't need to push out. He's only got 3 town centers up. Hasn't needed to push out to one of these extra golds or whatever, so he's not in too bad a shape. But the map control he's gained here isn't really doing too much for him. His opponent, of course, did choose to wall in, and he's going to try and kill the wall. We're going to be here a while. Why isn't he attacking that one there? You'd think he would attack the one at the bottom of the hill, but anyway. I'm sure there's a reason for it. I guess if he attacks that one, he comes through on the bottom, and the cavalry archers can sit here and attack from the top. And if he moves on here, he'll have the hill advantage, which is fair enough. Ooh, starting to kill it off. There's nearly 600 hit point damage done there. Let's check out Chris's base again. He has got a stable up. Has he got bloodlines? He does. Still only on 3 range, keeping the 2 town center production going. And small cavalry archer fight here, by the looks of things. Chris going to get 2 for the price of 3 there. Looks like, of course, coming in while it was attacking that stone wall there. It's about halfway down as well, so could actually potentially bust through there if he wants to. 2 more town centers have gone up for DeathOnTwoLegs. He has taken the gold in the back as well, because of course he can't fully saturate this one at the moment. And it looks like there's a villager coming up. Will it get the extra bit of wall down? And it's going to, and that means it's going to take even longer for Chris to be able to push into this base. Not exactly the ideal Watcher's game. 4th range coming up for Chris now, so we'll be able to equal his opponent on that. How are we doing upgrade-wise? We are even. Completely even on the cavalry archer upgrades. And it looks like DeathOnTwoLegs. Has he taken stone? He has. Could be going for more town centers, could be going for more chunks of wall. Who knows? Chris putting up another town center right now, starting to outbroom, putting up another range as well, going up to 5. That extra town center, of course, going to be able to supply a good amount of extra villagers on its opponent, so can be able to do quite well here. Gate coming up here. It looks like Death will be going for some kind of harass now. And of course, Chris's base not as well guarded by stone walls, so going to be able to get in there and actually do some damage, which should be great. Mangonels are out defensively, especially if they're on top of this hill here. Can be absolutely easy to take down a bunch of cavalry archers if he's attacking downhill, which he potentially could be. But Chris at the moment is hanging out on top of the hill in front of his base. Doesn't look like he wants to lose it. If he does lose it, he could be in a bit of trouble. That wolf survived. That's awesome. Was not expecting that. But yes, the wolf is still there after its engagement with the spear. And has it got walled in there, or is it just in there? I think it's just in there. More chunks of wall coming up here to stop any kind of push. And here goes Death right now, pushing out with his cavalry archers. Will be able to potentially come around the back here. Has been stonewalled off and a university here. I don't think there's enough of a gap to get through there. But can run in through here, and of course can come around this side or this side here. Will be forced to run under the town centre. But if he can get into the main economy of Chris, maybe here, over here, he can do a lot of damage. Looks like Chris is ready for this though. Has taken out cavalry archers. It did poke a little bit too far forward. Currently 600 points up right now, so in a good position actually. Siege Workshop is coming out for Chris, not on the front either, so he will be playing defensively with it. Outpost actually up as well, which is really important to actually have these up. Means now if anything decides to come through here, he's going to be able to see it all. Saying that, he's got them all around this side of the map. Geez, that's an interesting one, seeing that many. Mangonels are pushing out for Death right now, and oh, getting some massive hits on the cavalry archers there. The splash damage here can be absolutely massive in this war, considering that Death is pushing uphill. He did lose all of his Mangonels, but right now, if he can get Chris onto the low ground, he's in with a good chance. Armor upgrade is in favor of Chris right now, meaning it will take a few more hits to kill off his cavalry archers. Another Mangonel is moving forward for Death. Stable coming up on the hill here. Looks like Chris will be going for some kind of light cavalry. And right now, it looks like Chris did lose that one quite badly, saying that he's still up. He managed to kill off quite a few of his opponent's cavalry archers, but his economy at the moment seems to be what's carrying him through. Managed to get a tower up over here, so he will be preventing this gold from doing anything, hopefully. And yes, that's exactly what it's doing, which is brilliant. Right now, Death is pushing into the economy of Chris, and down goes that palisade, like I was saying. Easy kill. Market going up for Chris, but Chris managing to get these cavalry archers here. We'll get a few free kills. Gonna get 5 cavalry archers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cavalry archers. Absolutely brilliant for him. And more outposts for Chris, because why not? Grabbing another cavalry archer there, and as this game's going longer and longer, it seems Chris is starting to get more and more in front. Let's actually check if Chris is going Imperial. He is going Imperial already. 160 population for him. Death on 2 legs on 152. Does have the resources to go Imperial, but has chosen not to. Mangonel there, getting taken out by the light cavalry quite quickly. And it looks like Chris will be able to push back the skirmisher cavalry archer here, especially with this Mangonel. Ooh, great hit there on the skirmishers. We'll be able to take a lot of these guys down fairly quickly. And there we go, Chris pushing this back really well right now. Currently 1,400 points up. Looks like that extra town center has definitely done its job. Saying that, there is actually a 4th town center up for Death on 2 legs now. But Chris, did he go up to another one? 1, 2, 3, 4. No extra town center that I can see. Has started massively taking stone though, so I can potentially see a castle drop going on. Chris hitting the Imperial Age now. Death on 2 legs about halfway there. Light cavalry going to be able to get in there and do some damage. How are we looking? Has got the +2 upgrades on them and the +1 attack. Naturally, Bodkin should be on the way. Same with Chemistry, most likely for Chris. Let's have a look. See what we can spy. Chemistry on the way. Bodkin looks like it's already been done. Heavy Cavalry Archer being done. Pythian Tactics being done as well. Bodkin has been done already. And probably going to see the armor upgrades sometime soon. Right now, it's looking to be like Death on 2 legs, last legs right now. Can't exactly do a lot. There is a stable up on the front as well as a double Siege Workshop coming up. Siege is on the front right now, and Chris is really starting to push in here. He's got another Siege Workshop over here, plus some towers to force Death back off this. Death up with Imperial now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Ooh, that Mangonel, they're actually going to be able to do a hell of a lot of damage to those skirmishers if it decides to. Death has got some stables up in the back with some light cavalry garrison. Don't think it's going to be enough against this amount of cavalry archers right now. They are fully upgraded. And it looks like gonna push him back through here. Mangonel will be able to bust through here fairly quickly. Castle coming up in defense over here. Definitely a good idea on that gold. Don't know if it's gonna be enough though. Mangonel is there as well. Gonna get some good hits on the skirmishers, of course. Mangonel, of course, one-hitting skirmishers. Castle there as well. Pretty decent location. Ooh, Caparam's actually out on the right-hand side. And I think this might be it. We'll be able to push in here fairly easy. Cavalry Archers, of course, just kind of soaking up damage right now. 80 HP for them, 4 armor. And looks like that castle will slowly be beaten down. Captaram's also pushing in through this side over here. Looks like that village is just hanging out, he's on vacation. Cavalry archers are in the base right now of Death-on-2-Legs. Chris currently over 2,000 points up. Getting a lot of harassing here in the back, managing to push through here. Castle is about to go down, nothing you can really do about that. Hussar's actually in the base as well, managing to get quite a bit of raiding done. But I think this is game for 2Legs right now, nothing he can do to really stop this. And there's the resign now. Very well played by Chris in this situation. Something we don't generally see, which is when both players seem to wall in like this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next